this video, we are going to learn about random module and how we can use this to get some random data. One important thing that I would like to mention before starting this is that this must not be used, or this module, what I'm talking about now, random module, must not be used for security purpose or cryptography, because Python has mentioned in the documentation clearly that this must not be used for these two purposes because it doesn't give that much safe and security. Instead, you can use secret modules. Let us go ahead and see some example to understand this. To use random module, we may need to import the module named random. Let me say import random. Let us see some methods that are involved with random module. Right. So first, let me give you a method called this random itself. I'll say random dot random. So this will give you some values, right? Some random values between the range 0 and 1, and here 1 is not included, right? So it gives the values between 0 and 1. It gives some floating point values. So every time I execute, I'll be getting some floating point values between the range 0 and 1, and I just want to make sure that 1 is not included, right? So let me execute it again. So every time I execute, I'll be getting some random values, right? So with between the range of 0 and 1. Okay. Now let us see one more method that is called as uniform, right? So this helps you before we have seen random method, right? That random method doesn't like take any values. Like if I want a specific range of value between a value between some specific range, that is not possible in random method, right? But we can do that with the help of uniform method. For example, if I want some values in between, maybe between some 10 and 20, right? When I execute this, I'll be getting some floating point values between the range 10 and 20, right? Now here I just want to make sure that 10 and 20, if I say 10 and 20, here 20 is not included, right? So the values may be between 10 and 20, right? So that is what I just want to make some clarification. So make sure that if I give some range, it doesn't take the value 10 or 20. It takes only the floating values between 10 and 20. Okay. If at all you feel that I don't want floating values, but you want, right, you may require a integer value. So you will be using a method called as RandInt. So you'll be using this method called as RandInt. If I give some RandInt and then say, let me say 20 only. So 1 and 20, between the values 1 and 20, the values will be provided. Right now here RandInt includes 1 and 20 both, right? So it includes the starting value and the ending value, right? So if I execute this, I may get 1 and I may get 20 as well, but it's a random value. You may get anything there, right? So you got 8, 12, 16, 8, 1, like that. So you can get any values between 1 and 20, including 1 and 20, right? I can say including 1 and 20. You got 1 here. Let me give a smaller value so that you can understand that you're getting the last value also, right? Let me clear the screen for you. Let me run this code. So you're getting 3. Yes, you're getting 1, right? So you're getting value, all the values between 1 and 3, right? 1, 2, and 3, all the values are included. So RandInt will give you some integer value, and that integer value will be inclusive of the starting and the ending range that I'm giving, right? And one more method I have that also provides you integer value, that is RandRange. Now what is the difference between this RandRange and RandInt? Both like gives you integer values, but RandRange doesn't include the end range, right? So the syntax for this will be start, end, and step. Now let me give 10 here and then say step 2. Now it means that it's going to get the values from 1 and 10 in steps of 2, right? So that is 1, 3. So it's going to give me only odd values because I'm going to start from 1 and I'm going to step by 2. So it's going to give me some odd values. Let me run this code. So you're getting 9. You can see that you will never get even values. You get only odd values because it's stepping by 2. So if I'm starting from an odd number and I'm going to step by 2, I'm going to get always odd numbers. Now let me change it to 0, and let me run this code again. And when I do this, I'll be getting 2, 6. I'll be getting only even numbers because I'm starting from 0 and stepping by 2, right? And you can see you never get 10 because it's going to stop before 10. Okay, it's going to stop before 10. So the rand range will include the starting value but never includes the end value, and steps by the step value what I'm giving. So if I'm going to give 3, it steps by 3 values. Okay, got it? Okay, so hope you understood there's a rand range. Let's say random. And one more method I'm going to explain you about is choice. The choice method helps me to pick a value from a list of values, right? So as of now, we have seen range, like we have given some values, it's going to go between those ranges and take a value. Now this choices method helps me to pick a choice of value, right? Pick a value of its own choice from a list of value, right? So let me say result, and if I say like I'm going to conduct a match, a result can be either win, loss, or draw, right? So it can be either win, loss, or draw. So let me say print, and I'll say random dot choice. This method name is choice, and which takes a sequence of values, that is a list of values. Let me say result. So the result can be either win, lose, or draw. So either of these 3 values can be selected at a point of time, right? Not all, only one value can be selected. Now let me run this code. So this choice method helps me to pick a value from this list and then does the work. Okay. Now you're getting draw here. Now let me run this code again. You'll be getting lose, draw, draw, lose. I think I'm not winning. Draw. Okay, one finally, right? So this is how it works, right? So the choice method helps you to pick a choice of the value from the list. Okay, now if at all, like, I'll give you one more example. If I want to greet someone, right, with some things, right, hey, hi, hey, and hello, right? So let me say greet, and say is the value of the outcome. So let me say greet, and let me say print value followed by, let me give my name. Let me clear the screen first, and let me run this code. You can see hey Samuel Edison, right? Next time when I run, it's saying hey again, hi, hi, hello. Okay, I missed the spelling here, that's okay. So like this, it may pick any value from the list and gives you a output, right? So it's the choice method selects a value from a list of value, right? So if I want to select more than one, right? For greetings, like I can greet only hi or hi, right? So if at all I want to select a value more than one value, right? If I want to select more than one value, how will I do it? So for that, I have a method called as choices. And now this example I've taken from the Python documentation because their example is very good. So I'm going to use that for you now, right? So let me say colors, and then say let me have a list of color: green, red, and then black, right? So let me say print. I'll say like results random dot choices, and let me give the colors list, and then I'll say k assign how many choice of values that I'm going to pick. For example, let me say 6, and then I'll say print result. Now here what it will do, from the list of values, we have 3 values in the list, that is green, red and black. It's going to combine all these values and it's going to give you 6 values, right? So your output of this what um, code will be more than 3 values. I have only 3 values here, but out of which it's going to have a combination of 6 values, right? So let us run this code. So you're getting green, green, red, black, black, red. So it can be anything. It's not necessarily that it should be 2 green, 2 red and 2 black. Now let me run this code. Like you can get like 2 blacks, sorry, 4 blacks and 2 greens, right? So it doesn't have any restriction. Even it can give all 6 values as green only, right? So this choices method like will take one argument, extra argument, that is the values, right? How many repetitions I want out of this list, right? So I want 6 repetitions or I want 7, I have to give this, and make sure this k is, you need to use only k, you cannot use anything else, right? So you have to use a variable k only. Let me say like c, and then run this code, like it will throw you error, right? So it's not an argument that it is expecting, it's giving me a traceback error. And make sure that you're giving only k, because it's like a built-in variable that is there, so you have to give only k, right? Let me clear the screen for you. And see, if I want to give some weightage for every value, that it should not go beyond or repeat beyond the values that I want to say. Like for example, I want my to restrict the repetition of black to some values. For example, I don't want my black to be repeated more than twice, right? So I'll be giving something called as weights, and I have to give for everything. Let me say like green, let it take 8, and red cannot repeat more than 6 times, and black cannot repeat more than 2 times. Let me give 8 here. I'll just run this code for you. Oops, I missed a comma here. Let me run it again. You can see black, it repeated only once. Let me do it again for you. You can see black again, like it is not going beyond 2, right? So black is restricted that to 2 values maximum, right? So I can do this repetition based on the values which is given here. So it doesn't go beyond this. 8 means green cannot go beyond 8, red means red cannot go beyond 6, and black cannot go beyond 2. That is what this weight means, right? So let me clear the screen. um, let's see some more example. Now let me say I have a deck of cards. So if I say I have a deck of cards, let me give a range from 1 to 53. The deck of cards are like 52 cards are there in a deck. Now let me print this for you. I'll say deck, and just run this code for you. You can see some deck of values, that is 52 values, that is 1 to 52, right? So 52 values are there. Now if I want to pick some or if I want to shuffle the deck, right? So if I want to shuffle the deck, I have a method called as shuffle. This method like does the in place shuffling, right? I'll say shuffle of deck. I don't have to give a separate variable to store the values here. I just say shuffle of deck and then say print deck. Let me give a print statement to give a new line for me. Let me run this code. Before that, let me clear this. I'm running this code for you, right? So you can see that 1 to 52 values are there, and the same values are getting shuffled inside the deck, right? So you can say like 31, 51. The deck of values got shuffled here, right? Now if I want to pick some specific values from a deck, right? I don't want all the values, but I want only like 13 cards per person, right? So I'll be using a method called a sample, right? I'll say random dot sample. I'll be picking the cards from the deck. How many values I want to pick? I want to pick 13 values, right? So this is what this k is for. K is helps me to pick some values, right? But previously in the previous method, right, choice method, you have seen k that takes like repeated values, but here it doesn't take repeated values, it takes only unique values, right? So let me say new line there. Let me run this code for you, and you can see that all the 52 values in the deck, and then it got shuffled later, and then from the shuffled deck I am picking only 13 values. You can see it is not getting repeated. These are unique values. Okay, fine guys, I'm done with this video. I've given only few methods. There are a lot of methods in random module, but I've just given you only few methods which are used often. Right, if you have any doubts or queries in this video, you can comment in the comment section. I'll definitely get back to you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.